Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Welcome to my channel, NIW approved. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, everyone. You're all welcome. Thank you for joining in this afternoon. My name is Gertrude Noha, and I am here to answer all your immigration questions. Before we get started, I would like you to quickly watch a very short video, and then we'll take it from there.
Welcome to NIW Approved, your ultimate guide to navigating the National Interest Waiver Green Card process with confidence. Hi, I'm Gertrude Onuoha, ESQ, an immigration attorney with years of experience helping professionals like you achieve their dreams through the NIW Green Card process. Whether you're an engineer, scientist, artist, or entrepreneur, you're in the right place. Here on NIW Approved, we provide expert tips for building a strong case, real-life success stories, answers to your most pressing questions, and actionable strategies to navigate your NIW journey with ease. Ready to take the next step in your immigration journey? Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our growing community of professionals turning their expertise into approval. Don't just dream it, get it approved. Subscribe now, and let's make your NIW success story the next one.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you for that video. So once again, we want to welcome everyone. If you're joining in, please put your name on the chat and where you're joining from so I know you're here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wherever you're joining from, just let me know where you're joining from so that we can say hello to you. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Let's know where you're joining from. Thank you, everyone. So, once again, my name is Gertrude Noha. I am an immigration attorney, and today I'm here to answer all your questions, immigration questions. And I'm licensed to practice law from the state of New York. We service clients all over the United States. And feel free to give us a call. My phone number is 212-971-9704. If you have any question today, feel free to put your question on the chat and we are happy to answer your questions. While we're getting ready for our questions, I'm going to talk about a case that we just won. It's a public health expert, NIW EB-2 case. I'm very, very excited about that case. And today I'm going to discuss that case. So if you know anyone who is in the biomedical field or who is a public health expert, I believe that just, knowing how we worked this case will really, really be very helpful to you. So basically, our clients obtained his public health degree here in the United States, and he is a medical doctor from his country, and he retained us to actually work on his EB-2 NIW case. So, of course, we worked out the case where we established that our client is a public health expert who will provide public health information to the American people regarding obesity, um, drug addiction, and some other risky behaviors. But essentially, our proposed endeavor focused on his skills, his ability as a public health expert to give information on obesity and drug addiction. And his focus was really in the rural community. So that was our talking point. And Well, the strength of the case was that, of course, our clients, he was uniquely positioned in the sense that he does have a medical background, and that's very, very important. Also, we're able to also show that he had about 7 years of experience, under his belt, as a doctor and, of course, as a public health expert. And while he was undertaking his master's program, he worked with the state department. That is a very important information, because when you do anything that benefits local government or a state or even a government agency, you are already working in the national interest of the United States. So, of course, he did have one or two papers from his school work. Um, the one thing that was very challenging about this case, though, was that he had done so many things over the course of his career. He had done so many things in public health. He had worked with veterans. He had worked on homelessness. He had worked on different things, and that was a little bit challenging because there was really not much of an alignment for him. But being the experts that we are, we're able to sort of help him get that alignment, because with the NIW EB-2 case, the one thing you don't want to be is to be all over the place. You don't want to be all over the place. Given that, yeah, we know that over the course of people's career, people do a lot of things. People, get certifications, they do a lot of things. So, but with the EB2 NIW, you don't want to throw in the kitchen sink. You don't want to throw everything out there. You want to have alignment. You want to be focused. You want to sort of move in a direction that can be understood by the USCIS, right? You don't want to say, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that." Like you're focusing on about 5 areas. No, you don't want to do that. You want to focus on one or two major areas so that they can understand. Listen, these cases can only be approved if they understand you. The moment they don't understand you, you will get a request for evidence. That's very, very, very sure. So you want USIS to understand you. So for this client, we sort of focused on his public health educational skills with regards to obesity and substance abuse. Of course, he did so many other things, but we didn't want to like confuse, the government. We just focused on a few things, and then we're able to show his certifications. We're able to show his work experience. In fact, we were able to even show interest by third parties, because he'd been undergoing some interviews, and that's an indication that other agencies were truly interested in his expertise. So we're also able to discuss national importance, mostly in the area of public health. Obesity is a menace. We're able to throw in data and all that showing the problem of obesity. And we also show the danger of obesity to the populace, to our health. So that was thrown out there, of course, with other government initiatives. So one other thing about the NIW, when you're making your case, you want to show that the problem that this expert is coming to solve is something that the government is interested in, and they've been working on it. So we're able to show one or two government initiative with regards to drug addiction and obesity. Believe you me, with regards to drug addiction, there's so much out there showing that drug addiction, especially among young people, is a big problem in the United States and globally. So then with regards to prompt 2, showing that he's well positioned, of course, we were able to establish his background as a medical doctor. We're able to show his impact. We're able to show and his future plans. Of course, certifications and other work that he had really embarked on in the past. Oh dear, we actually we zoomed in a lot on his work with the State Department in his state where when he was doing his internship. That was beautiful evidence, and of course he was lucky to get expert letter from them, and that really really helped the case. Now, with regards to the third prong, we're able to show that um, look, obesity is a problem, and if something is not done about it, it's going to be very chaotic. We're able to present reputable articles, government fact sheets, things that really buttress, the point that we're trying to make. So that was really, really amazing. And we're able to show uniqueness, that his background is unique. Most public health experts do not have a medical degree, so he was coming in with a medical degree, and that was unique. Also, we're able to show that there was urgency also with substance abuse, and we packaged everything, and the case was approved. I am so excited. Listen, our goal is to really help professionals navigate this process. It can be very daunting, it can be very challenging. um our goal is to make sure that professionals are able to navigate this process. So we've been doing this now for over 13 years, going to 14 years. I've been practicing in the area of immigration law, and we've helped so many clients get their green cards, and we've been able to help a lot of clients navigate the EB-2 NIW process. So I'm going to take this quick question. This person says, how many letters of recommendation do I need for EB-1? All right, the case we just discussed was an EB-2 case. So let me just clarify for our audience the difference between EB-2 and EB-1. So the EB-1, employment-based category, focuses on those individuals who are extraordinary. And when you say extraordinary, it means that they are among the top players in their field, the top 1%. Now, the EB-1 is a very it's a more challenging case to navigate, more so because the standard is very high. Whereas the EB-2, you need to show that you have a degree, an advanced degree, or that you are someone who is exceptional. And we've talked about the advanced degree. It could be a bachelor's degree with 5 years of work experience, or a master's degree, or a PhD degree. And then if you don't have any of those, you can also show that you are exceptional. And how do you show exceptionality? The regulations just want you to show 3 out of 7. So if you can show you have a degree or a certificate, you have an award, or you've been recognized, you have like a high income, you have high income, or you have a certification or a license to practice in your field, or you probably have reviewed the work of other colleagues in your field, or you are a member of a professional organization, and if you've done some work in the area of research. If you can show 3 out of 7, you are fine. But this is my advice to you: go beyond 3. If you can show 7 things, that's fine. You know why? Because sometimes when you show only 3, the government may disagree with you. And once it's less than 3, that case is going down. So as much as possible, we try to show 5, 6, 7 things. And guess what? There's also what is called comparable evidence. Because at the end of the day, you need to show you are exceptional in your field, right? So there might be other criteria that you can use to prove that. So once you have done that holistically, then you can now move to the national interest waiver argument and make your case for the national interest waiver as a self petitioner. So with regards to the EB-2, with regards to letters of recommendation, the first question you want to ask is that why do we even need letters of recommendations? So your letters of recommendations are very, very important because it's part of your evidence. That's number one. And then it's more or less experts in your field talking about your work, your expertise, your specialty. These experts, they are already in the field, and they are now explaining, showing how your work will benefit the United States. So, with regards to letters of recommendation, what I've seen some clients do is they just write something very flowery. Maybe in the future we'll talk about letters of recommendation. They just write something like, oh yeah, this person is very hardworking, this person is very nice, this person is very faithful. It's beyond that. These letters of recommendations are not the normal type we see on a daily basis, right? These are very hardcore letters of recommendation that focus on your achievements, right? And how your achievements will benefit the United States. So you really, really have to get people who can speak to those achievements, okay, and how it will benefit the United States. And guess what? You can even talk about different things in your letters of recommendations. You can talk about the importance of your work. You can talk about even yourself, how you're well positioned for the work. And in fact, you can go further to discuss how waiving the labor certification will benefit the United States. So now let's get to the question of how many. Quite frankly, there's no hard and fast rule as to how many. In my office, we've used 3 letters of recommendation, and the case was, approved. Um, we've used 5, case approved. We've used more than 5. So there's really no set number. But as a rule of thumb, I like to be somewhere between 3 and 5. 3 and between 3 and 5, that's fine. And 5 to me is a good spot to be. And then with regards to your letters of recommendation, you want to like have different people speaking about your work, right? So you want to have as much as possible maybe somebody a little bit independent. And when we talk about independent recommender or expert, is somebody who you're not really is not your boss, not your supervisor, but more or less they are people who have seen your work. They are not very close to you. They're not your mentors. They've seen your work, they've read your work, or perhaps they may have used your work, or you met them at a conference and they know about your work, they are aware of your work. So these independent recommenders are very credible. And even if you don't have independent recommenders, don't get discouraged. You can still be approved. We've done cases without independent recommenders, and those cases, were a smooth sail. So your supervisor can, talk about you. Your PI, principal investigator, somebody you're researching with, they can talk about you. And people who know your work essentially, but not family members, please. Some people have used their pastors. It depends on what the pastor is saying, right? Okay, so it depends on what they're saying. If, for example, the pastor is going to be talking about maybe your leadership skills in church, then I think that would be really helpful. But if you are, say, a pharmacist doing the EB-2 NIW, and your pastor is maybe a journalist, doesn't know anything about your field, I don't think he'll be the right person to speak to your field. Maybe he may want to talk about certain skills. Most times people bring those type of letters, we either don't use them, or we use them if they can talk about maybe your leadership skills in church. Because guess what, if you're a leader, you are always a leader, regardless of whether you're in church or anywhere. So if that letter is going to be talking about leadership and some independent issues, yes, we may be able to use them. So just to recap, 5 is a good place to be, 3 is a good place to be, 4 is a good place to be. It really comes down to your credentials, the looking at your case holistically. What do you have? Okay, do you have research? Do you have presentations? Do you have experience? So the more you have, the better, right? So your letters of recommendation will just be there to really spice up, your credentials, and to show who you are. And yeah, if those letters are really coming from experts in the field, that's something that would really be helpful. So when you're using your letters of recommendation, you want to try as much as possible to um, indicate who these people are, right? You definitely want to sort of show off who they are, because that does carry some weight. I mean, I've done a case where USIS wrote back to us and they were like, your recommenders are not experts and all that. And we pushed back and we said, no, our recommenders are experts. And then we went over each of their backgrounds, and of course, that case was approved. So, yeah, that's all I can say for now about letters of recommendations. But feel free, we do help people write these letters of recommendations, or we help them look over them if the letters of recommendations are not okay. Sometimes clients bring these letters to us. If the letters are not okay, we just you know, either send it back or make suggestions to our clients regarding the letters of recommendations. So for the EB, this question is, what fields of study are most EB-2 NIW applicants? That's an interesting one. So the truth is this, let's start with the regulations. So if you are an expert or an alien with advanced degree or exceptional ability in, they require you in arts, in entrepreneurship, in engineering, in business, in the biomedical fields, that's fine, you know. Um, I want to say it's not so much as just the field, right? Because let's not focus on the field only, because I tend to focus more on the credentials. You understand? Because like we've done these cases for people in the arts. I remember we did one of the cases, and this individual is a painter. He paints, he's in the arts, but he had a very robust credentials. Do you understand? His portfolio was robust. In other words, I mean, like, he had expert letters of recommendation. He had held really big leadership position in his professional organization. He had done a lot of things in over the course of his career. He People knew his work and all that. So it's not just the field. We want to look at what the portfolio is. You know, having said that, I can only speak to my experience, right? I've seen that a lot of our science-based cases are approved. Some of the business cases, we do see challenges where we get RFEs, requests for evidence. So, and getting a request for evidence doesn't mean you will not get a case approved. But I'm just saying that essentially, to just answer that question, my summary is focus more on your credentials and your um focus more on your credentials and what you are bringing to the table. Okay, your endeavor, what is the endeavor? Because framing the endeavor is very, very important. All right, Faith, your question is, the work experience can be from anywhere in the world or necessarily from the United States. So Faith, your question is where the work experience can be. That's an interesting question. Guys, one thing I just want to tell you is that with the EB2 NIW, do not throw away anything. Do not focus only on your US experience, because I mean, your expertise is a combination of who you have been in terms of your education and your career. So just because you say, for example, this public health individual we worked for, he used to be a medical doctor in his country overseas, right? We're not going to throw that away. We're not throwing it away. Why? We're never going to throw that. We're going to use everything. So just to answer you, Faith, your experience from outside the United States is relevant. Okay, what about those who have never been to the United States? They've never worked here, they've never lived here, they've never schooled here, and we still get their cases approved. We still help them, and their cases are approved. So the experience can be obtained from anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. You're not going to throw away anything. Make sure you are showing your experience from outside the US. You're showing even your educational attainment from outside the US. Take everything together and make a good presentation. So that's my answers. So Samo, if you have any question, yes, let's get the question, get the questions coming in, and just as a segue to this last question from Faith, I always also get this question where people say, can somebody outside the United States apply for the EB-2 NIW? The answer is a big yes, a big yes, and a big yes. So don't cut yourself out. It's an opportunity for you to cross over to the United States to work as a professional. So if you're listening to me right now, you are anywhere outside the United States, all you need to do is get the consultation and see if you qualify. And check your eligibility for the EB-2 NIW. What is the eligibility requirement? You have to show you have an advanced degree or you are a person of exceptional ability. Boom, that's the first one. And an advanced degree could be a master's degree, a PhD, or a bachelor's degree with 5 years of work experience. And because you're a self petitioner, you also have to show that your work will be in the national interest of the United States. And for that, you have to show three things. Number one, you have to show your work is of substantial merit and national importance. Number two, you have to show you are well positioned to carry out that work. And number three, you have to show that it will be in the interest of the government to waive the labor certification. So once you are able to show these things and make a strong case, your case should be approvable. Over the years, we've been able to help loads of clients make a strong showing of their credentials. The problem here is this. This is the problem I've seen with EB-2 NIW cases where, especially for those that are doing it themselves, um, they are not able to craft their endeavor. They are not able to show their endeavor properly. And most times people are like showing so many things. So the question is, okay, I'm a mechanical engineer. That's good. Then what are you coming to do here in the United States? Your endeavor is not just your field, right? Your endeavor is that thing that you're coming to do in the United States, the problem that you're coming to solve. And sometimes people have serious problem trying to frame who they are, because and that is so important, because if you're not able to frame you who you are from the get-go, you will be scattered, you will be distracted in your brief, because the USCIS, they need to understand who you are. They need to understand what you're bringing to the table. They need to understand what problems you're coming to solve. They need to understand what credentials you have. They need to know if you've met prong one of the regulations, whether your work is of substantial merit or national or important to the United States. They need to know who you are. Are you well positioned? What do you have? Have you done this before? They also need to know um, if the labor certification should be waived. I mean, why should we waive it? So those are the things you would have to show. And in order to do that, you have to have a very strong endeavor and you have to frame your case properly. And so these are some of the questions that need to be dealt with for your EB-2 NIW. If you have any question about EB-2 NIW, or if you're not sure whether you're qualified, why don't you give us a call, 212-971-9704. We service clients all over the United States, and we have been very successful with this process. We've helped tons of clients in the biomedical field, engineering field, even in the arts, and even in business. So you definitely want to check to see if you're eligible for the process. And in order to do that, you have to schedule a consultation. Today I'm going to be giving out something wonderful, and that's the Big Dream Agenda. It's going to really, really help you sort of plan your NIW journey, whether you choose to do this by yourself or you want to hire an expert, this big dream agenda will really help you plan, because there's a lot of planning that goes into EB-2 NIW. Okay, Sam, I'm seeing another question. What will be your advice for F2 person with masters in public health and who is interested in the EB-2 NIW? What would be your advice for F2? All right, let's help our audience here. So, who is a person in F2 status? A person in F2 status is a dependent of somebody who is in F1 status, that is in student status. So, somebody comes here to study in the United States and they're in the F1 status, right? But they have to come with their family or their husband or their kids, right? So the kids and the husband would be in F2 status. And these people are actually not in school, right? They're just dependents. The F1 person is the one in status. Now, let's address your question. So you say, what advice would you give to someone with F2 status for the masters in public health who is interested in the EB2? Amazing. So I just want to start by telling you that your interest in the EB2 process is amazing, because as a public health expert, you are in a field that is well positioned to help a lot of people in the United States. More so, we have just come out of the pandemic, right? And public health experts were the one at the forefront fighting the battle for us, with the pandemic. So, as a public health expert, I want to tell you upfront that your work is of immense benefit to the United States, and you should consider really pursuing that application. Now, you have to first of all check out your credentials. Do you meet the requirements of the regulations? Okay, so again, I'm repeating this. I've said this so many times today. Number one, you have to show you have an advanced degree. So you are in you have to show you have an advanced degree. So already you have a master's degree in public health. I don't know where you got that from, but if you got that in the United States, that's fine. If you got that degree from outside the United States, you have to show um, an evaluation of that degree. You have to do what is called an evaluation. So essentially, a company here in the United States would look at your foreign degree and then tell us if that degree equates to an American degree in public health. So they will look at it and they'll be able to tell you. And there are many organizations that do this business. So you just need to contact them and show them what you have, and they can tell you if your master's degree equates to an American master's degree in public health. That's very important. So you have a master's degree in public health. Now the question is, you are a self-petitioner, you want to do this. Do you meet the requirements of the national importance? You have to show that your work is of national importance to the United States. Okay, so with the national interest waiver, the NIW, you have to show three things. Number one, your work is of national importance and of substantial merit. You yourself, you are well positioned, and it will be in the interest of the government to waive the label certification. Also, there are so many other things that come with this process. You have to show, as a public health expert, I mean, which area are you going to be making a difference? Because public health has so many subcategories. You understand? We've worked for biostatisticians, epidemiologists, public health education. There is also public health policy. So you have to flesh out the area where you're going to be focusing. You don't just throw your public health degree at them, right? And then, of course, you have to have your evidence showing that you meet all the regulatory standards. So, Samo, once you have done all these things and then put the case together, submit, you should be able to, root for an approval. And this is what we do for lots and lots of clients. And we've been doing it. We've done it for so many public health experts, so many in different fields with different backgrounds. In fact, I remember we did one for, and she has a green card right now. She used to be a student and she's a pharmacist and also a public health expert. So we're able to, put in a strong case for her. In her own case, she focused on throat cancer. She was focusing on throat cancer. Her work would help with throat cancer, and of course, we're able to, get her approved for the EB-2 NIW. She has a green card today. We've had so many public health experts with different backgrounds. The thing with EB-2 NIW is that there is no, like, even if two people are in one field or one specialty, their cases are different. There's like no two cases are ever the same. Impossible. Just because people do different things, they have different backgrounds, different types of evidence that will be presented before USCI. And that's why you should never go online to copy somebody's story. No, everybody has a story to tell, a different story to tell. And that's why we're here to help you. If you really need someone to look at your credentials and sort of craft a trajectory for you, that's what we do. We're very good at it. We're very good at it. And we do help clients to get that done. Anyway, thank you all for your questions today. I look forward to seeing you guys here 12 noon live on Saturday. We will be answering all your immigration questions. Let others know. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please feel free to subscribe and like it. And of course, we appreciate you for coming in today. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Hope to see you some other time. Don't forget to um, collect the Dream Big calendar or agenda. It's really going to help you plan your immigration journey with the EB-2 NIW. Once again, thank you very much and have a blessed day.